we have with us Song Lee, who's a product manager at Jinko Solar, and he will talk about N-type modules, a product Jinko is really pushing that year and has expanded production capacities for quite a bit. Song Lee, the floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. This is Song Lee from the Jinko Solar and the Technical Service Center. And I believe that before today's speech, you might hear from various platforms that Jinko's N-type products take new. So in today's conference, I will give you a more detailed introduction of N-type module in reducing the system LCOE, levelized the cost of energy. As we all know, N-type modules are high efficient, so it is quickly becoming accepted to use in the household and the industrial and the commercial customers, and also the utility projects. So for this, why take new is good, and what is good about it, and how much it can be better than the P-type. And after today's speech, I wish that you can know these answers. So for my topic, it will be separated in the following three parts. The first one is the advantage of N-type module, and then is the system compatibility of N-type. And the third one is the last one, how much the N-type module could improve with the system by using a case analysis. And first of all, when it comes to the modules, we have to look back at the evolution of our cell technology. As shown in the figure, we can see the roadmap of the cell efficiency. Each iteration of technology is mostly due to the efficient bottleneck. So currently, the conversion efficiency of the P-type, we can see in the figure in the market, has gradually approached its upper limit to 25.50, which has been proved as theoretical upper limit. And that means the P-type is nearing the end of its road. The N-type, by contrast, has an efficiency limit of 28.7. And our Jinko broke the world record of 24.7 last month. And what's more, the mass production efficiency of our Jinko N-type cell has reached to 24.7, which has already exceeded the upper limit of N-type. And this is why we say the N-type module is better and high efficient. So it is not only in the future development, but also in the present. And the main components we see in the market are mostly the PERC batteries. So our new module uses N-type TOPCon batteries, as shown in the right side. So in terms of the production line, the structure of the two cells is very similar, but we have replaced the N-type silicon substrate here. In terms of the battery structure, we add 2 layers to the original PERC structure to improve the preservation efficiency of the TOPCon cells, especially this red one, the tunneling layer, and the conversional performance of the cell. So therefore, in terms of the technology, TOPCon battery has more layers and thicker than the PERC, which leads to an increase in the TOPCon cost, but it also means that the quality and the power generation performance of N-type components were much higher than the PERC. And then, based on this technology, we have launched the 3 versions of the product, 78 pieces and 72 pieces, and also the 60 and the 45 pieces module. So for the 78 and 72, we both have the mono and the bifacial module. And but for the current mainstream selection is these 2. And we can meet the needs of the household to industrial and commercial customers, and also the large-scale ground power station. And in case of some small roof area or a roof that is uneven or broken, it is recommended to refer to a small version, these 60 and 40 and 54 the pieces. These are current N-type portfolios. Also, the N-type has the same dimension size with the P-type of our P-type Type Pro, and it will add about 15 to 20 watts of the power per module over the P-type. For example, look like this TaiyangNews 72 pieces. It have a 560 watt, and with the same size of the Tech Pro, the P-type module, it only had a 540 watt. So it has more than 20 watt per model over this P-type. And then is this N-type modules to the multiple application scenarios. So look like this TaiyangNews 78 is used in ground power station, and the 72 is for the utility and commercial and industrial ones. And for the 70 and the 45 is for the distribution market. So what are the specific advantages of these modules? First of all, the N-type technology or cells, the power degradation can be significantly optimized compared with the traditional PERC cells. And due to the different dropping technology, the first year degradation of the N-type is only 1% compared to the 2% of the P-type. So it means that our N-type module can yield more than P-type for the first year. So, and its linear degradation is only 0.4, also better than the P-types, 0.45. So overall, the blue part in the figure represents all power generation of N-type more than the P-type over its lifetime of the module. And then, whether from the first year or from the long-term power generation, there will be more significant advantages for the N-type TOPCon technology. So this is the first advantage. And besides, higher bifacial factor is the second advantage. So what is the bifacial factor for this module? It equals to the rear power divided by the front power. It's familiar that the biofactor of the traditional PERC module is about 70, while the N-type cell used TOPCon technology has the highest bifacial factor of 85. As shown in this figure, using P-type manufacturing module of the same specification is a baseline. So just use the manufactured one is the baseline. The P-type bifacial modules can provide a 9.45 generation gain, while the N-type modules can provide a maximum 11.48 generation increase. So under these premises, N-type power gain is 2.03 more than the P-types in terms of this bifacial factor. And in addition, in the areas with the high ground reflectivity, the power gain due to the bifacial factor can even be higher, especially in the areas like the white pink ground, which can approach to 3 to 4%. And then in terms of the module temperature coefficient, Jinko TaiyangNews module can achieve an optimized temperature coefficient of 0.3. And it increased the average power by about 0.74 here. And at the same time, according to the test data provided by our research and development department, the TaiyangNews series modules can operate at an average temperature of more than 1 degree centigrade, lower than the P-type of the same specification. So combined these two advantages, the power generation can be increased by up to 2% in the high temperature areas. And this is the only this temperature coefficient can to make the power gain more 2%. And as we all know, with the continuous increase in the cell size, the module current will continue to raise. So under the premises of the large current module, the advantage of temperature coefficient will continue to expand. So in conclusion, the better temperature coefficient, the higher bifacial factor, and the lower LID and improved the LETID significantly improved the energy generation. And under the conventional weather and ground reflective, the Jinko TaiyangNews series modules can deliver average generation gain of more than 3. So someone will ask, what about the reliability? And all of our N-type products have been tested by IEC. And not only they are better than the IEC requirements, but the test results show they are even better than the P-type products. So the N-type product is unquestionably reliable. So of course, besides the above theoretical analysis, it has also the field test report to support this generation gain. The data shows the module data comparison in Haining, China, with the same specification P-type modules as a baseline. So the P-type bifacial module can bring a power gain of 9.7, and the Jinko N-type TOPCon modules can bring 12.7 power gain. So comprehensively, the capacity increase of 3%, which is consistent with our theoretical analysis. So overall, these are the advantages of our N-type module, and this is why the N-type is better than the high efficient and better and high efficient. And then let's move to the next part, the system compatibility of the N-type. First, it should be the inventors. For the products of the current mainstream inverter manufacturers, whether string inventors or central inventors can be fully matched and installed. So there are no issue for the inverter compatibility. And for the mounting system, so the last part is for, the second is for the tracker. It is fully compatible and matching. Because it's the N-type dimension size is same as the P-type. So we can even replace the P-type module directly with the N-type and install it, and without changing any support design. So after the second part of the system compatibility, the last part is for the case analysis. It will show us how much the N-type can save for the system LCOE. So firstly, for the analysis, we use our P-type 540 watt and the N-type 560 watt as a control group, and use the P-type as the baseline to see how better the N-type is. And for the specific parameters is shown in the table. Look like the module efficiency, P-type is 20.9 and the N-type is a little higher than it. So with the more power and more module efficient, the N-type product can save more both cost. So, and then the dimension size of the P and N are same as we can see in this table. So it means that it doesn't affect the support design and the installation mounting system. And for the third one is the electrical parameters. N-types are a little higher than the P, but it does not affect strings and the selection of inverter. So, and for the next four parameters are described as the before, and these four parameters can to lead to the N-type power gain 3 more than the P-type. Okay, let's move to the case analysis. And this is a 200 megawatt utility project, and it's in Saudi. And this project used the track system with 2 portrait modules design. And as we can see from the table, the N-type is 560, 20 watt higher than the P-type per module. So the total quantity of the N-type modules designed is less than that of the P-type. And this contributed to the both cost, except the module of the N-type can be reduced to 31.7. As you can see, it's lower than the P-type 33 US cent per watt. So what these both cost savings include? It mainly include the single X track cost and the labor cost both for the module and for the tracker, and also the ocean freight and the others. So as we can see, the quantity of the modules is less. So all these cost factors mentioned can be reduced, and totally the both cost except the module can be reduced 3.89% by comparing with that of the P-type. So this is for the system savings. From the power generation side, if you choose to use the N-type module, you can get a 3.09% extra power gain, comparing with this using the P-type modules for the first year. So if for the 25 years accumulated extra power gain, it will be more higher, reach to 3.81%. And this is benefit from the strength of the N-type module. And then after you got a lower both cost and a higher power generation, you will finally gain a more competitive and lower LCOE. It can be 1.83 lower than the P-types. To sum up, using the N-type modules with tracker system, you could have three benefits. One is you can get extra power gain 3.81 and both reduction to 3.89, and also the LCOE decreased to 1.83 by comparing with the P-type scheme. So this is how much the N-type module can bring to you. Not only the both cost reduction at the beginning of the project, but also you are getting more generation for the future. So to be concluded, the solid project comparing with the Tech Pro modules, Tech New modules can save 1.28 US cent world in both cost and improve 3.81 power generation. And totally it will leading to the LCOE reduce 1.83%. So for the solid, it was with the center ground and higher temperature. So what about it in the other scenarios? And I give some the examples. And both of these calculation is assumed on a 10 megawatt project with the tracker system. And the comparison is between the P-type and N-type mentioned before, and with the different irradiance and the ground reflectivity. So for the first one, Spain, with dark sound ground, the extra generation gain of the N-type modules can arrive at 3%. And in Brazil, it can be 2.52. Vietnam is 2.2. China is 3.4. Although the numbers of scenarios are limited, but if the other cities have the similar environmental factors with these four cities, I think the improvement of the N-type modules can be the similar. But every project needs to be do the calculation by themselves. So from today's speech, we get to know about what's the specific advantage of the N-type module and its system compatibility, and finally, its reduction on LCOE due to its higher generation and lower both cost. So that's all, thanks.
Thanks, Somli. Very interesting. I think there's a few questions on the chat. If you have time, it would be nice if you could answer them. I think one is also about price, because that obviously plays also a role. And at the moment, N-type is still a little bit higher than P-type, right?
Yeah.
Answer any question.